It's my pleasure to welcome Dilly. He is the Chief Vision Officer at RSPH, and he's gonna elaborate on their expertise at RSPH, which includes Sigmafine and its potential benefit to the territory. Welcome, Dilly.
Thank you, Alicia, and may I also extend my warm greetings on behalf of Rifleshot to all the attendees. I'm connecting live from the beautiful city of Cape Town, where I spent 2 weeks, and sadly I leave today. Looking at the registered attendees, I'm very encouraged that this is an African summit, and we have representation from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, from Botswana, from Namibia, from Ghana, Nigeria, amongst other African countries, in the sectors that Sigmafine is focused on, which is the petrochemical and the process industry. You would also notice that the theme we've selected for this, using the icon Madiba, from prisoner to data freedom. Our observation, like Madiba, has been behind walls without having access to information and the truth, if you will, to make some decisions. We find that due to the silos that have developed over the years and the lack of integration and transparency that you see from Sigmafine, that most decision makers in companies do not know what the truth is. So how does this support your business strategy so that you could make decisions, including acquisitions, especially in the mining sector and the allied processing sectors? You'll also notice subtly I have a new designation on my name, from CEO to CBO. At times like this, Massimo and Felicia talked about digitalization, and I'm connecting from Cape Town. Massimo and Felicia are connecting from Italy, and the other team is based in Houston in Italy, and Siva at Estron in Cape Town. So the executives of companies today needs to understand that it's through the use of technology and the empathy that you have for users that you're going to start developing integration from your business strategy right to where the work happens, which is on the shop floor, so that you can make business decisions. It so happens that Rifleshot is also celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. 20 years of enhancing clients' business and operational performance. The founders of Rifleshot, Ian Huntley and Guy Imbert, some 20 years ago, 2 decades, selected the name Rifleshot, and it was largely about the focus of this organization, contrary to a shotgun approach where you're trying to be all things to all people. So you are the first audience that will be seeing a video that we've put together encapsulating the 2 decades of Rifleshot. So we'd like to share that video with you. So sit back, relax, and I will come back after you viewed the video.
I want to take this opportunity to congratulate Rifleshot and the team on their 20th anniversary. It is through Rifleshot's dedication and perseverance that they have achieved this milestone, and I wish them every success, prosperity, and growth into the future.
Welcome to Rifleshot in our 20th year. From the outset, we've chosen to fill that area which has the most impact on companies. The operational support. Operations, as we all know, is where you make or lose money, and we've chosen to partner with the best in the world to bring the most value to our customers.
Ever since we started the business 20 years ago, we have focused on delivering our customers the best quality we can, along with on-time delivery for the best possible results and the quickest impact on their operations and profitability.
It seems like only yesterday that both the management teams of Medal & Associates and Rifleshot Performance Holding decided to join forces. This was with view to combining both our local as well as our global experience, knowledge, skills, and our business offerings. And the idea was to bring this to the Rifleshot clients. To date, feedback from our clients has been extremely positive with regards to innovative thought leadership and business enhancing offerings.
And hello everyone. My name is Hope Tazana, a junior consultant at RSPH and the youngest member of our team. It's been a privilege being at RSPH for the past 5 years with our leaders Ian, Dilly and Guy, who not only treat us with the same care and passion as they do all our clients, but they have broken all the barriers of a male-dominated industry and have enabled a young, ambitious woman like me to spread my wings and thrive.
Congratulations for your first 20 years of success. You are an active strategic partner and we wish you the best for the coming years. Rifleshot is more than a partner. They are our friends with high compromises in technology, in software and in the country. Good luck.
On behalf of AdaptIT, I would like to congratulate Rifleshot Performance Holdings on 2 decades of delivering value to their customers. As a long-standing partner, we have valued our relationship with Rifleshot, not only because of the experience and the depth of expertise that they are able to bring to bear on the types of customer challenges that we encounter, but also because of our shared values, particularly of respect and professionalism. We've certainly endured some tough times over those 2 decades, but we've also enjoyed a great many successes and reaped those rewards. I would like to wish Ian, Guy, Dilly, and the whole team at Rifleshot all the very best in the years that lie ahead.
Congratulations to the Rifleshot team for this 20 years celebration event. Pimsoft is very pleased to join this highly experienced team of digitalization experts who are known to merge advanced services and niche IT products to deliver high-impact projects to the South African process industry. Happy anniversary to the RSPH team.
I want to congratulate Rifleshot's team for celebrating 20 years of commitment in promoting digital transformation to all business sectors in South Africa. Their 20 years can be summarized as maturity and experience in delivering innovative concepts and best practices to achieve world-class performance in operations and management. Happy anniversary, Rifleshot!
So hopefully that gives you a snapshot of some of the people in Rifleshot and the offerings that we have. What I would like to do now is unpack some of the information that we shared with you on the video. Firstly, the partnership with Pimsoft Sigmafine, although we had known Pimsoft Sigmafine and the enterprise historian OSI Pi for many, many years, it was only about a year ago that we had a meeting of the minds, which was a natural fit between the Rifleshot and Pimsoft Sigmafine in terms of the industry sectors that we focus on. So very, very excited about the authorized professional service appointment from Pimsoft to Rifleshot. Of course, we have several years of experience, not only in South Africa, but the team, the management team at Rifleshot has over 180 years of experience working in different countries in Africa. And when I speak to some people in other parts of the world, namely the US, they think Africa is one country. They don't understand that we have sub-Saharan Africa, East Coast, West Coast, etc. And it's complex. So we understand the complexity. And I've personally worked in countries like DRC, Nigeria, amongst other countries. What is the cost of doing that business? The cultural nuances, etc. So we understand that. We also understand the business side of things and the technology information experience that we have, which fits in very well with what you've seen from people like Massimo and Siv as far as the information management areas. The industry sector experience that we have, it mirrors the Pimsoft Sigmafine focus industry sectors. And of course, the enterprise asset management area. And Massimo talked about digital being an asset. I would like to see the day where executives on their balance sheet put a rand value or a dollar value on their assets, like some companies do with the brand value of the company brand. And that's the value of using something like Sigmafine. So we're also very involved, as you saw in the video, in the whole area of value chain optimization. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the upcoming slides. The applications knowledge, and this was shared earlier on in terms of the manufacturing execution systems, the whole area of the overall equipment effectiveness area, the SCADA systems, and all those back-end environments that you have. In the days that my management team and myself were involved, we used to call these things databases. Today, we talk about data lakes and enterprise historians. So we have evolved to understand the difference between an enterprise historian and having something on an Excel spreadsheet that's trying to pretend to be a database. So as you saw in the video, Rifleshot is about focus. So we are focused in the oil, gas, petrochemical area, the mining, minerals, and the metals area, the power, energy, utilities area, the biopharmaceutical area, the food and beverages, and the manufacturing, both the process as well as discrete manufacturing. What I'd like to do on this slide and the next slide is basically unpack some of the partnerships that we have over several decades other than Pimsoft. So if you look at the industry sector, the oil, gas, petrochemical, we have an offering from a company called Ion Commodities, which is one of the largest commodity trading companies in the world based in New York. And Rifleshot has had a partnership for several years where we are doing demand forecasting, planning, optimization, both for the energy, chemicals environment for companies like Sasol as an example, who has a footprint in over 30 countries around the world. What is interesting about this partnership is that we are part of the Global Center of Excellence. So we try to help create South African jobs that we can deploy in other parts of the world. The other partnership that we have is a strategic partnership with a company that most of you are familiar with called AVEVA. In the oil and gas business, they have a unified planning and scheduling offering, which basically manages the feedstock. So if your crude is coming in by ship, managing the movement of that feedstock to your depot, through the refineries, doing the blending, grading, and back to depot. So what we do between ION and AVEVA is create a 360-degree with AVEVA from management of the feedstock that's coming in, and with ION managing the sales, if you will, the demand forecasting, planning, and optimization. We also have an offering from AVEVA, which is largely in the enterprise asset management environment, the mobility, and the predictive maintenance side. And of course, this event is about Pimsoft and Sigmafine. As I mentioned, from what we have seen, it's a natural fit for us. There are several organizations that we believe, and as you would know, some of the things that Silvus shared with you, 0.5% in the petrochemical industry can have a huge impact on your bottom line in terms of managing your production accounting, your process accounting, mass balancing, loss management, etc. So this is very, very exciting for us for the future. I did a benchmark, and in the African context, my understanding is there's about 40 petrochemical companies in Africa. There's a long list of 400 mining companies and a number of investments taking place in the mining exploration environment. So we see a tremendous opportunity in future with Pimsoft Sigmafine moving forward. We also have an offering from ION. It's something that's in the commodities area, specifically around coal, the old coal planning environment and the iron planning environment. Companies that are using this are the likes of Exxaro, Anglo American, Kumba, amongst others globally. We are very proud of the partnership that we have with Adapt IT. Proud because we are passionate South Africans and African. This is an innovative technology. People talk about AI or artificial intelligence today. This has been built some years ago into the engine of this. It's an electronic permit to work system. It is focusing on the human element, traditionally the blue-collar workers that are working by the thousands in the mining, utilities, and petrochemical oil and gas environment. So Rifleshot has been a partner in this environment for some years, not only in South Africa, but it's become a standard for the likes of companies like BHP across all their commodities in Australasia. Some of the South African companies is the likes, as you saw in the video, of Eskom, which is the largest utility power company in Africa. And what we do there over several years, we have a multi-year contract with them on an annual renewable basis. And right from integration with biometrics for access control, then looking and matching the task work order, integrating to SAP HR to look at the competencies of the people. And then we link that to things like SAP plant maintenance, and last but not least, the whole area of governance, risk, and compliance. Other than the Eskom example, we have it in several mining companies, including Tronox, Sibaya Stillwaters, amongst others in South Africa. One of the things I'm very pleased to announce that since the advent of COVID, around about March last year in South Africa, where we had the lockdown, we have now adopted a virtual implementation strategy with one of the Anglo companies called Amplats. And the team at Rifleshot have done an unbelievable job in figuring out how we can do this virtually, which to the company like Rifleshot, we are saving on the time. As you would know, the mines are very remote. You've got to drive hundreds of miles to get to them. So the savings on the S&T costs. And so this is something that we're very excited about moving forward, which will become a standard way of us operating, utilizing the mine managers and the project managers that work with the company on site. So we'll be working a lot with this. We also find that these companies are linking to what they call the operational risk management systems within the group companies. So we're very excited about this. We've also got interest from companies within the Indian subcontinent and also representation of this electronic permit to work in the United Arab Emirates with the oil and gas companies. EPICO is a partnership that we have specifically for discrete manufacturing, where you have complex bills of materials. And they, like most companies who have moved to the cloud, they have a very good value proposition. So you would find that products like EPICO can be your tier 2 ERP system. So if you're a large company who is using the SAPs and the Oracles of the world, you can link that to. The next company, Aptean, we have a partnership with them in 2 areas. One is on the OEE side, the overall equipment effectiveness measurement side, as well as the process side. So we have a partnership with the Aptean product that is called ROS. So if you look at the processing environment, especially in the food and beverages environment, we call it from farm gate to dinner plate. So how do you do track and tracing? And you're understanding if there's an outbreak of any issue like the asbestos, which we had in South Africa. It's a big issue, and it's a very specialized product, and we're very proud to be a partner of Aptean. Last but not least, we have a catch-all offering, and you saw Ricardo, the CEO of SoftExpert, who's based in Brazil. Company started some 25 years ago. It is a world leader in the platform that they've created. It's almost like a puzzle where you'll be able to preserve your current investments if you're using things like Microsoft SharePoint or existing ERP systems. And in the areas of business process management, with all these changes that are taking place with digitalization, if you're not changing your business processes, you're going to have huge challenges. Ultimately, it's very good at governance, risk, and compliance. I think Siv also shared with you the SOX compliance as one example. And then the whole area of corporate performance management. So strategy, as I said earlier on, is set at the C level. How do you bring all this information to do the management from a corporate performance management in each one of those KPI environments? So that is a snapshot of the offerings that we have. Going to this particular forum, and it was talking about digital assets. So you'll see there's data everywhere. And as the companies get older, the silos get even bigger. But there's no insight to make business decisions. So I've taken an example of a typical commodities value chain. So if you look at what we do in the whole area of the inventory, rail, part, etc., we can provide you with solutions from the offerings that you've already seen. And then the whole area of the production environment with solutions like Sigmafine from Pimsoft. So what we see is the area of value chain optimization from feedstock to consumer. And that's from the companies that we work with. We have a term in Rifleshot, and Excel was mentioned several times in this forum. And for us, ERP equals Excel run production. You cannot run production on Excel. Excel is a great complementary tool, but if you really want to measure the kind of things that Siv shared with you, you need a product like Pimsoft Sigmafine. There is a need, as Felicia said, for digitalization and transformation. Number of you have got the SCADA systems, the manufacturing execution, the PLCs, the what is called the human-machine interfaces, now moving into machine learning, artificial intelligence, etc. So how do we start connecting all these things? Because traditionally, most of the equipment have only been managing itself in terms of the performance of the equipment. So how do we take the OEE, the operator equipment effectiveness, and multiply that with the OLE, which is the overall labor effectiveness, so that you start getting the organization integration and understanding what the actual benefits to you as a company. So we should stop guessing and let data insight give you business decisions so that you can make decisions on future investments, etc. I want to share with you a little bit about the approach that Rifleshot has to professional services. You'll see that we've coined a term called resultants as opposed to consultants. So in our view, a resultant can do everything a consultant do. But the difference is that we try to understand the business challenge rather than leading with the product. So once we understand that, we work with our clients on a measurable milestones outcome. And people talk about agile today. So we do that in small increments of about 3 months at a time to look at a proof of value. And we have a term where we go slow to go fast. So we can replicate this over a period. And that's what we've done on some of the examples I've shared with you. So the other thing that we have in the company is what we call innovation cube. So most people look at innovation as a product, but to us, innovation is how you think. So why are we doing this? Why is this company embarking on cloud? Is it a fashionable thing to do? Why should you not remain on-premise? Are you doing it because the OEM is asking you to move to cloud? So we challenge that and we question that. And once we understand that, the cube is about looking at the third dimension. What is the benefit ultimately to the consumer? So that's the mindset that we have in our program and project management. So we do overall program and project management, creating the steer comms between all the stakeholders, including the client stakeholders. You must have seen some of the people in the video where we have subject matter experts for each one of the areas that we focus in. So an example, Martin, who you saw, is a senior consultant for the whole value chain optimization area. And Bo, for example, and Hope are very focused in the whole area of electronic permit to work and so forth with the others. So we just try not to be generalists, but are specialist subject matter experts. And of course, a number of those clients that you've seen, some of them are big brands like the Anglo-Americans of the world, the Escoms of the world. We have ongoing service level agreements, support and service. So we do the SLA support and work very closely going back to our original equipment partners. So in most cases where we work with our clients, we find that through this process, the clients have a clear road ahead. They have a much better understanding that in the areas that we are engaged with, that this is not done as a silo or in isolation. Does it actually meet the business strategy, the business goals, improving productivity, improving the bottom line? And we believe by doing that, you will start moving from being a prisoner to data freedom, because through Sigmafine and Pimsoft, you'll be able to get the truth of what is happening within the organization. So that concludes my presentation. My details are on the screen. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to take those, Felicia. Thank you.
Thank you, Dilly. Thanks for an enlightening presentation. Now is a good moment to ask your questions. Do you have any? Okay. Has RSPH done business nationally in South Africa and Sub-Saharan Africa?
Thank you. That's a good question. So we start with South Africa. I think I showed Eskom as an example. So Eskom is involved from nuclear, Koeberg Power Station, to every single power station nationally in the country. We manage that. I mentioned the company, one of the Anglo companies, Amplats. We've already commissioned 5 sites for them, and we're going to 9 sites over the next few years. And this goes on. Sub-Saharan Africa, yes, the team, including myself, have personally got our fingers dirty in Sub-Saharan Africa. I mentioned DRC. Parle français, if you go there, you have to understand a little bit of French. You have to understand the culture. You need to understand there's wars going on in some of these countries. So yes, we understand the challenges and the opportunities that presents itself in Sub-Saharan Africa.
Very good. Thank you. Do we have any other questions from the audience? We have another one, Dilly. What expertise does RSPH have in the process industry?
Another excellent question. So RSPH was formed from day one in 2001, with having already had experience in the process industry. So it's in the DNA of the Rifleshot team in terms of the stuff that's across the board in the process industry, right from food, beverages, oil, gas, mining, and the likes. So yes, it's in our DNA. We understand that we cannot take a solution, and take that to a beverages sector, which is slightly different to a mining sector or an oil and gas sector. So that's why the focus on those partnerships that you saw, as well as the expertise that we have. We have different sets of expertise for different industry sectors.
Thank you. This is our next question. What is RSPH expertise in value chain optimization?
Yeah, I think when I showed you that whole, what we commonly call in the commodities environment, from pit to port, from the time you dig the hole in the ground, extracting commodities like coal, through that entire value system of logistics, transportation, rail, going through the processing, blending, etc., and then going to port to get shipped. Our big countries these days that buy this are the likes of China and India. So we understand it, and we have expertise in that environment. So the offerings I shared with you from the various players like AVEVA, ION, and the likes, and then we have subject matter experts. So one of the things I should take advantage of sharing with you is Rifleshot as an example, because these things don't work in isolation. They work in a multi-vendor heterogeneous environment. So what we add value to our clients, I mentioned SAP more than once. A lot of the companies have installed an ERP system like SAP as an example in the manufacturing, oil, gas, petrochemical, mining industry. So we are able to also integrate, where we've actually built our own SQL scripts, etc., to integrate with this, which typically would take you many, many months before you get approval to do this from an OEM sitting in Germany or somewhere else in the world. So yes, we do have expertise in that particular area.
Thank you, Dilly.
Thank you, Felicia.